This is absolutely wild. I genuinely think we might have stumbled upon something game-changing with this new workflow. I'm diving headfirst into Vizard for the very first time to see if AI can actually transform long videos into snackable, viral clips without completely frying my brain. Since I'm testing this fresh, I'm opening it up completely blind and walking through the entire process live, just like I would with any other new piece of software. The source material is a raw, long-form video a friend sent over, and I figured it was the perfect candidate for a real-world AI challenge. I decided to treat this like a total blind test. No preconceived notions, no spoon-fed edits, just me reacting raw to whatever moments Vizard decides are the absolute best highlights. If you're a content creator, you already know the absolute grind, slogging through hours of footage just to spot those magical 15 to 60-second segments that actually make things pop. Honestly, if an AI tool can reliably handle that tedious spotting process, it has the potential to completely revolutionize how we manage our content pipeline. The very first step was simply importing that huge master clip directly into the Vizard platform. Right away, I noticed the interface felt incredibly clean, thankfully not cluttered with a million confusing buttons that just slow you down. The platform prominently displays the big three things Vizard promises: auto-detection of viral moments, automated cross-platform scheduling, and a centralized content calendar. However, I'm not here to just read off a list of features. I need to feel how it actually performs under pressure in a real-world scenario. Next came the crucial analysis phase, where Vizard immediately started scanning the entire length of the video. It began marking potential highlights, focusing on moments where the energy visibly spiked, genuine laughs occurred, or a strong visual punchline was delivered. It was slightly trippy watching it operate in real time as candidate clips began generating on screen. Each suggested clip came with its own confidence score, paired with a suggested platform length like 15 seconds for TikTok or 60 for a standard YouTube short. Just that one feature alone felt like it instantly saved me at least an hour, maybe more, of mind-numbing scrubbing back and forth. Now, to be completely honest, I have experimented with several other single-purpose editing plugins that also promise one-click results. Some of those tools are acceptable for very narrow jobs, such as precisely cutting a music video right on the beat, but they often feel gimmicky. They frequently struggle when the source footage is naturally messy or complicated, or they end up costing a small fortune for just one specific feature. For instance, those MBX-style plugins are phenomenal for music videos because they are laser-focused on audio beat syncing, but that specialization makes them rigid. You either have to tailor every single edit to that specific format, or you quickly realize you are totally out of luck with that tool. Other platforms that attempt auto-clipping often devolve into delivering low-quality crops, bizarre pacing choices, or just a massive pile of unorganized clips that still need manual fixing. What separates Vizard is that it never pretends to be pure magic, but it genuinely feels like a sophisticated, intelligent assistant. It doesn't simply slice the footage based on loud sounds. Instead, it actively looks for narrative and emotional context within the scene. It specifically targets when a punchline actually lands, when someone establishes direct eye contact with the viewer, or when the surrounding crowd reacts intensely. The system ranks the clips not just on simple volume, but on a much more valuable metric: potential shareability across social feeds. It then proactively builds ready-to-post versions that are already optimized for specific platforms, including aspect ratio and initial caption suggestions. It even suggests optimal timestamps within the clip for when you might want to introduce a text caption or a small sticker element. Once I let the process run its full course, it quickly spat out a substantial batch of curated clips. My immediate visceral impression was the sheer volume of manual editing time that this process could easily save me every single week. But saving time is only half the battle. The final deciding factor is always the actual quality of the resulting output. I went through and skimmed the generated clips, and to my surprise, most of them were actually usable straight out of the box. A couple of the transitions felt slightly abrupt, and one or two clips required a quick reframing adjustment, but that's where the design shines. The editing interface is clearly built from the ground up for lightning-fast review, allowing you to toggle between suggestions instantly. You can swap in alternate takes, fine-tune the crop, or adjust the caption suggestions within mere seconds. One feature I unexpectedly grew to appreciate perhaps more than any other was the intelligent auto-scheduling capability. After selecting the final pieces I wanted to use, I just set a simple posting frequency, like 3 clips per week. Vizard then suggested an optimized posting calendar based on platform-specific best practices, and even recommended which clip length should go out on which day for better performance. I had the option to publish everything immediately or let Vizard queue and post automatically, which is massive for anyone tired of being glued to their phone. If you are accustomed to the deep, nuanced control of heavy manual editing in Premiere Pro, you might assume no AI can truly replace that level of artistry. And in a way, that's true. Vizard is absolutely not designed to replace bespoke, highly cinematic, one-off projects. But for the specific task of consistently repurposing long videos into a steady stream of socially tailored short clips, it outperforms so many other niche tools. Unlike those hyper-specific plugins that only work within narrow workflows, Vizard is built for creators needing variety across tutorials, talk shows, and podcasts. Other scheduling tools exist, but they often fail at the creative clip selection part, leaving you with a scheduler that has zero creative insight. Vizard's real sweet spot is the powerful combination. The AI handles the initial creative triage, and the distribution engine manages the complex logistics. That specific integrated combination is what elevates it from feeling like a simple gadget to a true workflow partner. Now for the necessary nitpicks, because no tool is truly perfect right out of the gate. Sometimes the AI-suggested captions rely on slightly generic phrasing, so you absolutely need to go in and tweak them for your specific voice. It can occasionally misjudge subtle context shifts in complex interviews, where the tone changes gradually over time. In those specific nuanced cases, a very quick manual trim or reframe is all it takes to make it perfect. And if you are extremely particular about minute framing details or want ultra-polished custom motion graphics, you will still want to bring those few clips into Premiere for the finishing touches. However, for that crucial 80 to 90% of everyday content repurposing needs, Vizard successfully eliminates the most soul-crushing tedium. What I love most is how drastically this changes the entire creative flow from what we're used to. Instead of disappearing into a 3-hour editing session just to find one good moment, you let the AI surface 10 or 20 candidates, pick your favorites, and schedule a week's worth of posts. You can accomplish all of that in the time it used to take just to export one final long-form cut. Let me give you a concrete real-world example of this in action that really sold me on the concept. I had a 45-minute sit-down conversation where the energy levels naturally spiked a few distinct times throughout. Vizard flagged 3 particularly strong candidates: a genuinely quirky one-liner, a short segment that worked perfectly as a self-contained storytelling clip, and a strong reaction shot ideal for a meme-style short. It even suggested the exact crop sizes needed for Instagram Reels versus TikTok, and generated initial hashtag and caption starters for each one. I quickly reviewed the clips, subtly adjusted the caption tone to match my established channel voice, and pushed them directly into the scheduler. 48 hours later, one of those AI-surfaced clips had already started gathering significantly more traction than the original full-length video had accumulated in an entire week. That initial result is the exact tangible upside that creators are desperately chasing when adopting new technology. Now, before you watch the final thoughts, I want to pause for a crucial audience interaction moment. Drop a comment right now. Do you honestly believe tools like this will completely take over content repurposing? Or do you think human editors will always remain essential for that final polish? I'm genuinely curious about everyone's perspective because, from where I'm standing, it feels less like an either-or situation. My current view is that AI excels at accelerating the repetitive, time-consuming parts of the content grind. But your human taste, context, and creative direction will always be the essential elements steering the overall ship. Bringing it all home with my final overall thoughts on this first run with the platform. I walked into this testing process highly skeptical, mainly because so many other auto-edit tools promise the moon and then deliver a very mixed, disappointing bag. Vizard, however, landed firmly in that rare and fantastic middle ground where the product is genuinely useful without being overly restrictive or ridiculously overpriced. It is certainly not a replacement for a dedicated, visionary creative director overseeing a major campaign. But it is an incredibly brilliant and fast assistant for any creator whose primary goal is consistent, high-volume posting from long-form work. For creators striving to scale their output drastically without immediately needing to hire a dedicated editor for every single short they produce, this represents a massive step forward. If you plan to try this tool out yourself, my main piece of advice is simple. Do not treat it like an all-powerful magic wand. Use it as intended to surface a large, diverse selection of options, and then invest those precious few minutes tuning the voice and specificity of the captions. Trust the AI engine to handle the heavy lifting of identifying those potential high-signal moments. Then use your superior human taste to polish and refine the final selections to ensure they match your brand perfectly. That intelligent combination is truly what gets you the best possible outcome. Maximum speed paired with maximum signal quality. So that is my initial first-run review, and I have to admit, I am genuinely impressed by what I saw today. I absolutely plan to test Vizard across several different content types, next to see just how consistent its performance remains across the board. If you want me to run a follow-up video testing this system specifically on recorded podcasts, in-depth interviews, or live stream archives, please let me know which content type you prefer in the comments. Thanks for watching this initial deep dive, and I will catch you all in the next video exploring this workflow further.